I hope the holiday season has been a joyous one for you and your families so far this year. It's been absolutely fantastic here at the House of Colred. It was my son's very first Christmas this year, and we really enjoyed it. Now, it's always great to hang out with family, eat a lot of food, give and receive gifts. And this year, I got a very special gift of a holiday cold. I'm sure the giver didn't intend to, but that's what happens sometimes at this time of year. So I'm not feeling so great, but I'm hoping to have enough energy to get through this video because it is Friday, and the portal is glowing purple, and as you know, purple is my favorite color here in Raid. So we are having a 2 times Void Shard event going on. We've also got a 10 times champion boost for the new Void Legendary in the Lizardman faction. Pheidi Tealcrest, I believe is the name. So we're going to review that champion, and we're going to go ahead and pull the Void Shards. We're hoping to also complete the Champion Chase tournament that's going on. That's part of the Lady Noel Fusion event and only has a few more days, and I'm on pace to finish that successfully. So we're going to do all of that in today's video. I am Colred. This is Colred Plays Raid Shadow Legends. Let's get started. Nearly a week off to enjoy the holidays with my family, but I am back to making videos, and I want to make sure that Colred Plays finishes out the year as strongly as possible. So if you'd like to help me do that, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and consider joining our Discord community. Once again, thank you for all the support. Now let's get back to the video. Here is the 10 times Void Legendary champion for this weekend, a support champion from the Lizardman faction, Pheidi Tealcrest. As you can see from the stats, a nice HP pool of 23,000 HP that will factor into this champion's effectiveness heavily. So we'll talk more about that as we go. The attack doesn't matter. The defense of almost 1100 is solid, not outstanding for a support legendary, but in combination with that HP pool, I do believe Pheidi will be relatively tanky. Speed of 105 is what used to pass as fast, but I think after the stat bloat of the last 12 to 18 months, this is about average for a new legendary champion, so nothing really exciting there. A little bit of resistance and a little bit of accuracy, always nice, especially the accuracy, because there are going to be a lot of debuffs and negative effects in Pheidi's kit that we're going to need accuracy for. And speaking of his kit, let's take a look at the A1. Zephyr Lance attacks one enemy 2 times, and each hit heals all allies by 5% of this champion's max HP. That's one reason why that HP pool is so important, because the more HP the Pheidi has, the bigger these heals are. In addition, once booked, each hit also has a 100% chance to fill the turn meter of the ally with the lowest turn meter by 10%. So you're going to get 20% turn meter fill somewhere in your team composition. Now, this is an excellent A1, and I think it makes Pheidi a really good candidate for potentially being part of an ally attack team or a counter attack team, because you're going to want this A1 firing frequently. So just consider that when you put your team composition together. Now, taking a look at the A2 on Teal Wings, this skill does 5 things. Attacks all enemies, removes all buffs from all enemies, places a block buffs debuff and a decrease speed on all enemies, and then fills the turn meter of all allies by 15%. That is a great Void Legendary skill. It does require 6 books to fully book out and get into its optimal form, but this will reduce it to a 3-turn cooldown, make sure everything is hitting at 100% chance. So yeah, this is a great skill, really powerful skill, but oddly enough, I'm not sure this is going to be the skill that everybody cares about. Now, if you're like me, if you're a free-to-play player and you happen to pull Pheidi, this is going to get you through Hydra. You're going to put it into Chimera. There's a lot of value here in this skill, both for PvE and for PvP. But oddly enough, I think it's this A3 that everybody is going to be focused on, because this decreases the cooldown of all allies' active skills, except this champion, by 3 turns. So this is that big number, that 3-turn cooldown reduction. But you'll notice a new change here from, say, Yumiko, who also has a 3-turn cooldown reduction. The cooldown of this skill cannot be decreased by other cooldown decreasing effects. Now, I'm not sure that that's the best fix for this kind of skill, but I understand why it was included, because you'd just be adding another Yumiko to the game. I think Yumiko still needs some kind of fix for her kind of infinite cooldown rotation if you have 2 copies, but at least Pheidi won't add to that particular problem. I still think it would have been cool to find a different solution. But in addition to this cooldown reduction, you get an increased resistance buff and a perfect veil on all allies except this champion for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. So another good skill for potentially Hydra and Chimera. Looking at the passive, Draco Speed. Draco Speed? Okay, cool. Turn meter fill effects on allies under CCs are 30% more effective. So if you do have an ally who has been CC'd, this will help them recover from that CC more quickly. And then whenever a sheep debuff is removed or expires on an ally, heals that ally by 25% of their max HP and places an increased speed buff on them for 1 turn. So it also helps you to recover from sheep debuffs. So this is kind of a niche benefit for PvP. I don't know that it's that powerful. It feels kind of meh. It's like, it's nice, but unless the champion's kit is really good for PvP in other places, this isn't enough to force Pheidi into the PvP meta, I don't think. That's okay. It can still be used sort of as a niche champion, and that'll give some value and add a reason to use him in PvP. But we'll see how important that becomes to players as we move forward. If you already have Pheidi and you are playing with this champion, let me know, have you used him in PvP, and have you found this skill to be of any benefit whatsoever? Finally, we have an aura of ally resistance in all battles by 80%. Again, potentially good for Arena, good in a lot of places, good in Hydra if you need it, although we typically go with speed auras in all of those places. It's nice to have the flexibility to have a resistance champion when you need them. So I'm excited for this champion. I would love to pull this champion during this weekend's Shard event. But of course, you know, Void legendaries don't come to us too frequently. But if you do pull this champion, enjoy, because I think you've got a good one. So I do want to talk about this champion chase tournament briefly. First of all, you will notice that it is part of the Lady Noelle fusion event, and there is the rare at 3,000 points. So if you are pursuing this fusion, you may or may not need this rare. Now, I only have 20 Void Shards, and I'm unlikely to hit that point total with just my Void Shard pulls. However, there are several other factors going on with this champion chase tournament that I just want to cover so that you know exactly what's happening. First of all, you'll see I have 650 points already. That is because I left Sir Nicholas in the Titan event until it timed out. And that event went 2 hours past the start of this champion chase tournament. So I have 650 free points because of Sir Nicholas. Now, I hope you got the points as well, but if you didn't, just let this be a reminder to you in the future that patience often gets paid out in Raid Shadow Legends. And so you can sometimes get extra value by just holding your horses a little bit and not rushing into getting your rewards instantaneously. So 650 points for Sir Nicholas, but that's not the only place you can get points here for this champion chase tournament. Here in the summon pool, you can see we also have Prism Shards. I have held onto my Prism Shard pulls for this champion chase tournament. Remember that Prism Shards award no points for summon rushes, but the champions you receive will give you points towards a champion chase. So holding them for this champion chase will give me a few extra points. I'm guaranteed to get at least 2 epics here. So that's another 500 points on top of my 650 Sir Nicholas points. So I'm up to 1,150 free points just by being patient. And then in addition to that, if we go into the actual fusion map, remember that you can fuse all of these epics during this champion chase tournament, and this will give you points in the tournament. Now, if you need that rare from the tournament, there's going to be at least 1 epic that you can't fuse until after you get that rare, right? But 3 epics would give you, I think, over 1,000 points, 1,050 points, and then you can get an additional 350 on the end of that. So now we're talking about 1,400 points, plus the 1,150 I got. That's already 2,550 points that I'm getting before pulling shards. So if I go back to that reward track for the tournament itself, I can see that I'm easily going to get these 3,000 points, I think, with the 20 Void Shards. But I've got an opportunity potentially to get this legendary tome and maybe even that 5-star chicken, depending on how lucky I am. It's probably going to just be that tome. That's what I'm expecting. But that's extra value. As a free-to-play player, I'm always trying to squeeze every last drop of value out of all of my resources, and that includes champions that I get, like Sir Nicholas, as a reward. And by the way, for me, maybe for you as well, there's still more to come because there's a fragment summons that I can do. I still haven't pulled my stock, the broken, I think is called. So I've still got this champion. I've still got some, Doom Tower champions. I've still got my dupe Freya here. So if I want to go for that 5-star chicken or even beyond, these are why you hold on to these fragment champions, for stuff like this. So again, patience pays a lot of dividends here. And as a free-to-play player, you just have to have that built in to get as much value as you can. And I feel pretty good about this Champion Chase tournament because of that. Okay, so here we come to the shard pulls themselves. As you can see, I only have 20 voids. I did a 10 pull of voids, which I don't normally do because I had to complete something. I think it was because it was the holiday. I spent a little bit of resources I otherwise wouldn't have spent. But that was okay because it allowed me to kind of not have to worry about events and stuff for the fusion event over the holidays. And so it was just a calculation I made for my life, and it definitely reduced my stress levels. But as a result, I only have 20 here instead of 30 pulls. So I was just talking about getting all that extra value out of my resources, and here I gave away a little bit. But again, sometimes what you get for your resources isn't what you get in games. Sometimes it's what you get in life, and I feel pretty good about how my holidays went down in regards to raid. So I guess it was worthwhile. So we're going to do 2 10 pulls here. Then we're going to do the summon pulls last. I think we'll do that just because those are a little bit more exciting. They've got potential. And yeah, and that's it. So let's go ahead and do some 10 pulls. I'd love to see Pheidi. That would be absolutely fantastic. That would be crazy. My luck has definitely cooled off recently. I had a hot streak going for a couple of months, but I'm back to sort of normal standards now. So I'm not expecting to see anything, but maybe we'll get lucky. Couple of epics. A third epic. Maneater is always a great epic to empower. And a Sylar. My Sylar is already +4, so that's just a chicken there. But 4 epics is really good in terms of champion chase points, so I feel pretty good about that. And I can empower my Maneater. Let's do our second 10 pull. If we get that same number of epic voids, I think we'll be in really good shape in the champion chase. But I'd like to see gold. I'd love to see gold. Skytouch Shaman, not bad. Come on, let's do a little bit better. Let's do something. Come on. You can do it, game. Come on. Another epic. Madame Saris will be a good one to empower. So 6 overall epics. That is not bad. Void epics. That's going to give me a lot of points here in the tournament. Probably, yeah, got that, got the rare at least, 3,450 points. So more points than I expected from my voids. Not bad. I didn't get Pheidi. I didn't get Pheidi, so I'm a little disappointed. But we're going to go and do the summon pulls as well. Out of these champions, I still don't have any faction guardians. So Tribune Heraclides, I guess that would be, huh? So Tribune Heraclides would be interesting to me. If not him, then I would say Bad Alcazar. I had Bad Alcazar as my very first legendary on my main alt account, and he was absolutely phenomenal. And I've never pulled him on my main account. So I had a main alt, you know, your #1 alt account. But so I would love to get him on this account, especially because I think he's going to be fun to pair with Stock, the Broken. That would be good. And then as far as epics are concerned, anybody that I can empower would be fine. So we've got 2 of these pulls. This is basically a Sacred Shard. 6% chance at a legendary. So guaranteed to get at least 2 epics here. So we did get an epic. Not a good one. Corpse Collector, I don't care about her. But 250 points. One more. Let's see what we get. Another epic. And also Zolota, I don't care about him too much. So basically a miss on this event, but I did get the points I need. And if I'm close to that 4,100, I'm only 150 away. I will get that legendary tome, which honestly will be the best reward so far for this weekend. And if I happen to get any more void shards from Clan Boss or something over the course of the weekend, I'll make sure to pull those as well. Let me know in the comments below, did you hit? Was your luck better than mine? I hope it was, because this was pretty awful. I guess not totally awful. I got my points, but otherwise no champions. So let me know on the champions you hit. And if you missed like I did, you know I will commiserate with you. So please let me know that as well. Thanks so much for hanging out today. I have been Colred. I will see you in another video soon.